Welcome to BigCountryPreps.com. I'm Evan Wren, and this is the Capital Farm Credit Wednesday night podcast, our weekly look at the area athletic scene, what happened last week, and what's going on this week. I'm here with my partner, Dan Youngblood, via Zoom. And tonight, Dan, we've got a special guest. We've got Stamford girls basketball coach Joe Crabb, and the Lady Bulldogs are off to a great start. This is one of the best teams we've seen out of there in some time.
Yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, they entered this week at 6-0 in a very, very tough district, in District 10-2A. Probably one of the best districts, certainly in this region, maybe in the state at that level. When you think about, Cisco, Anson, Haskell, what they have been, they're a little bit down this year, but that's still just a great program. Hawley's having a nice year, so they're in a great district, and so far they're undefeated in that district, and have had just a remarkable season with 3 tournament championships leading into district play, and now on the roll they're on. But Coach Crabb's obviously done a great job there. He inherited a really good group, and I think he's kind of taken it to a new level. They're playing probably the best we've seen the Stamford program play in the time we've been doing this. So I'm looking forward to talking to Coach Crabb, and we'll get to see what his thoughts are on this group.
Well, we expected them to be quite this good. They've been absolutely great thus far, and that's with one of the star players, Tylee Jo Bevel, nursing a knee injury, struggling to come back. She is now starting to contribute, but she's had to have been, brought along slowly, and she's just getting now to where she's, given some minutes and contributing. But they've still been incredible. Even with her coming back off that injury, it's more than I expected.
And I think that the thing that makes this team so special is just the level of depth that it has. I mean, obviously, when you lose a player of Bevel's caliber, that's hard to make up for, but they've been able to do it because Leilana Applin is a go-to girl in her own right. She's a really, really good guard. Then you got, Shanley Mueller at that guard position, and then 2 6-foot posts in Audrey Brewer and Lainey Lefevre, who are great players as well. So, and then obviously the other Applin girl there at guard as well. So just so much talent, really all over the court. Great balance between their guards and posts, and it's just a really good team, a really complete team. And it's been fun kind of see them adapt to Coach Crabb's style, where they are pressing a lot more. Kind of playing, turning, full court pressure defense into their offense, and it's a tough combination, and lots of teams have really struggled with it.
Well, I think they're well suited for it this year. I think they're definitely well suited. They have the talent advantage. They're creating more possessions, and you always like creating more possessions when you have the big talent edge. Mm-hmm. So I think they're well suited for what he has just brought to the table, and I think a 22-2 start.
Yeah, it's really, really remarkable what they've done. And you look at the 2 teams they've lost to. One of those is Jim Ned, which has 1 loss at the 3A level, which is and that was a competitive game. So this Stamford team has been very good. They also beat a really good Holiday team in the championship game of the EULA tournament. So they've had a really good start to the season, obviously, and a really good start to district. And this team, I think, has staying power. They're going to be playing a while once the playoffs start, and it's going to be fun to see what they're able to accomplish.
Before we jump into this week's show, we need to thank our primary sponsor, Capital Farm Credit, with offices all over Texas, including Stamford and Abilene. Buy your own slice of Texas with Capital Farm Credit. Together, we're better. And joining us now, Stamford girls basketball coach Joe Crabb. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Coach, first off, you're having a great year thus far. Tell us what the big keys are for the amount of success you guys have had.
Well, as you know, they've been pretty good the last few years. It's a good group coming through right now that's kind of senior led. So, they've been good for the last 2 or 3 years, and had a little regional run a couple of years ago, and last year got beaten in regional quarterfinals. But last couple of years they've been beat by the eventual state champion. So there's a good nucleus that was coming back. So we've just kind of built on that, and they've just taken off.
And Coach, I was able to see y'all's championship run at the EULA tournament, and that was the third of 3 tournaments that y'all were able to win championships in. Just what was the value of that? And with a team like this that has high expectations, the value of playing some of those high stress, high pressure games and winning those in a championship setting?
I think it's just immeasurable what that does for us. And, against good competition, the last one was with over at EULA. We played Holiday in the finals there. So they're a good Region 1 3A team. And, I didn't think we played particularly well against them, but, we just kind of never say die in that. down that stretch and kind of pulled a miracle off there at the end. But, you're going to run into those situations. That we've ran into them already a couple times in district games, and, and going forward, you'll probably see some stuff like that in the playoffs.
Coach, when you got to Stamford, you knew that you were going to have a good ball club, but tell us about your first impressions, when you started working with them and saw the amount of talent that the team had.
Well, to begin with, I was at Bowie last year. And so I could have retired last year, and really that's where I was leaning. So, someone had called me and asked me if I'd be interested, said Stamford was open, and, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but, he told me this about the team and told me they had all this talent and stuff. So, kind of went out and got to see them play a little bit in the summer and stuff. And, you could see the nucleus there for sure. And you could see the talent. And I thought they were tailor-made after watching them to what I like to do defensively. So, it was just, I was excited to get my hands on them, start working with them, and, good size, athleticism, and long, and, just perfect for what we do, what I like to do.
And that kind of leads me into the next question. I mean, anytime you have a coaching change, there's always kind of some adjustment and feeling out period, just where, the girls kind of getting to know your style and those sorts of things. Just what was that adjustment period like for this team, which like you said, had some success and was coming back with a lot of talent?
Well, I felt like I got to know them a little bit this summer. I wasn't around them a lot, but a little bit this summer. We still transitioning, trying to find a place to live. My wife and I in Stamford, and so I really wasn't around them as much as I'd like to have been this summer. But man, they just took me in just from day one, and it's been it's been great. They just kind of picked stuff up quick. Smart group, work hard, and they've got a lot of experience, so they just picked the stuff up really fast, and have embraced me and made me feel good. So it's just a great group.
Coach, tell us about you've made some changes, obviously. One of them being your pressure defense, playing a lot more pressure defense. With the amount of talent you've got, you're creating more possessions for them. I'm thinking that's just been a huge key this year, them picking that up.
Yes, absolutely. Wherever I've been, I started kind of running this stuff when I was many years ago at Strawn, and we didn't have quite the athletes I do right now at Strawn, but it just always generated so much offense for us. We get people to turn the ball over a little bit, and you said it best right there. Just you get more shots up, more possessions, and that's kind of that's basically what it does for us. These girls picked it up really fast, and they're getting better. And I mean, they're not flawless with it for sure. They still have some growing to do, and hopefully they'll get that perfected before the time the playoff run comes. But they've had ball games where Anson, for instance, I believe we scored, I don't want to say this wrong, but I think we scored like 15, 16 points in the first half and 41 points in the second half. And it just all was through throwing so much pressure at them. And they turn the ball over a little more. They're a good team, and they don't turn it over normally like that. But we was able to get them to speed up and get them out of their rhythm and get them uncomfortable. And, once you've kind of been doing that throughout the course of a game, you may not see the dividends in the first half, but you certainly do in the second half.
And Coach, this team's blessed with really kind of a unique combination with a lot of balance. You've got a really good guard group with some big girls that can really play inside as well. Just talk a little bit about that dynamic where you do have options to score kind of all over the court.
It's very nice. You're generally blessed with that, I think at our level, but so I'm pretty fortunate in that area. Guards are great. They do an excellent job. And then we have, 3 girls right there at 6 foot tall. So that's pretty, that's not the norm for, I would say for a 2A school. And, of course I've never had that many. I've had post players, maybe one at a time, but never quite like that. So, and the guards are good size, they have good size too. So it's a nice sized team, and you know, you got a nice combination of girls that can penetrate, get to the bucket, shoot outside. Even the post girls, they can go out and hit the shots outside. So, you know, when they're on, they're competitive and can play with anybody, I feel like.
Coach, we were really looking forward to seeing Tylee Jo Bevel in her senior year. She gets her knee hurt, which initially was a huge loss for you guys, but now she's coming back and starting to contribute. She's come back early. Can you talk about, I mean, the talent that she's got, how big of a loss that was, and how big is it to see her coming back for everybody on the team?
It's been very uplifting for us. She, you know, it was unfortunate. I was there the night in late June, was playing the last summer league game of the year, and is in the last maybe 2 minutes of the game when she injured her knee. And you know, typically speaking, then you get hurt in June, you know, you kind of pretty much bank on it being a year-long recovery for that particular injury. And, you know, it's just a testament to her and what she did. She just knocked the PT out of the park, and was determined to get back. And I mean, I believe it was less than 5 months and you know, before she was able to come back and kind of start playing on her restricted minutes. But Tylee was great for us, you know, even before we had her on the bench. You know, you just kind of watch those games, and I mean, she's one of the biggest cheerleaders on the bench with the girls, and you know, always celebrating her teammates and encouraging them. And so you know, to get her back, and just not even her skill set, which is off the charts, just have her leadership and have her presence out there is been wonderful for us.
And then obviously in the past, Leilana had been kind of up there as well as kind of a go-to girl, but with Tylee Jo's injury, obviously, she kind of need to step into even a bigger role, kind of emerge as that true go-to girl for you guys. And having gotten to see her do that has been fun to watch. Just what have you seen from her, just in terms of stepping into a leadership role, both on the court, off the court, and just kind of doing all the things you need her to do?
Yeah, she's been fantastic the entire year. Just a tremendous talent, and she's so gifted and good. She has good size for a point guard, and you know, good shooter, and just gets to the bucket. And she's just been a great scorer for us, and a great leader. What she does on the defensive end, you know, she kind of runs the front of her press, and you know, she just causes teams so many problems up there, just kind of with her skills, and her basketball IQ is just off the charts. Just her court awareness and her basketball savvy is excellent. Can't coach that stuff.
And we've talked about kind of what this team had done in the past with the trip to the regional tournament a couple of years ago, region quarterfinals last year, losing to eventual state champions. With this group now, kind of a senior-led group, just what do you kind of view as this team's potential, and what are some goals that this group has?
Well, you know, I think the potential is just, it's off the charts with them. But I mean, it's difficult. I mean, we know that, they know that. This district, you know, you have difficult opponents every night, and it's some very, very difficult. And I mean, it's been a fight. You know, we've had 2 or 3 of them that were, you know, I think in the end we kind of won by large margins, or a larger margin than, honestly, the score is probably a little closer than that, or it felt a lot closer. But I don't know. I think the sky's the limit. I think if we get hot, do the things, and make some improvements in some areas, you know, consistently knock shots down, stay healthy, catch a break here and there. I mean, you know, they could, as far as win the region, who knows? But you know, we're just kind of obviously one game at a time, and it is such a grind through the district that, you know, we're just kind of one at a time, see what happens. We're trying to get first in the district, absolutely, and you know, then we'll cross that bridge there as we head into that new portion of the season.
Coach, before we started the podcast, we were talking. You and I kind of go back a ways. You know, I remember you back in your days at Strawn.
Yeah.
How is it to be back in the big country? And can you maybe talk a little bit about your days at Strawn, because you had quite the run there?
Yes. Yeah, we did have I was there for 17 years, and, you know, it's, I don't know, a little bit over an hour probably from here. And, got so many fond memories of Strawn. Coached so many, good kids. Had both my daughters, raised both them there, and they were players for me. I think we had a run in my last 10 years. I think we went to the regionals 9 out of 10 years and got to 5 regional championships there. So, those Strawn people, we'll still see them. Some of them come see some of the games that I coach in, and got some very dear friends there, and coach some spectacular young ladies for sure.
When's the last time you had a great big piece of chicken fried steak?
You know what? My Bowie, I tell you what, I took my Bowie team. I told them about it, and we played a playoff game, I believe, over at Cisco, and I took them into Mary. So that was well worth the trip.
So now they're going to transfer over to Strawn, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's a danger there for sure.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the year. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on you.
All right. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.
And with that, it's just about time to wrap up the Capital Farm Credit Wednesday night podcast. But before we do that, we want to remind you that we have 3 separate subscription packages here at bigcountrypreps.com. We've got a monthly for $5 a month. We've got a semi-annual 6-month subscription where we knock that price down to $4 a month. And then we've got an annual 12-month subscription where we knock that price down to $3 a month, 12 full months of Big Country high school athletic coverage for $36.